Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom on a special Shabbat called Nachamu as we start reading one of the 7 special Haftarahs post Tisha B'Av when we mourn the destruction of the temple, and these 7 Haftarahs are Haftarahs of comfort from the different prophets. And Nachamu Ami is God comforting the Jewish people, a double comfort. 2 temples destroyed, a double comfort to give us even more. Not just bring us back to where we were, to bring us even more in the ultimate comfort, the coming of Mashiach, very quickly in our days. And in this week's Torah portion, V'Eschanan, where Moshe is repeating all the things that happened while the Jews were in the desert, and specifically this Parsha focuses and centers around the experience of Mount Sinai. And Moshe starts off by telling the Jewish people that I prayed and beseeched from God to let me go into Israel. God decreed Moshe will not go into Israel when he hit the rock instead of speaking to it and not sanctifying God's name completely the way he should have. And Moshe is pleading by God. 515 times he asked God in one way or another, please let me go into Israel. You already made so many miracles happen through me. I beat the enemies that are surrounding Israel, brought the Jews to the Jordan River. We're just on the other side of the river, and whoever was in Israel knows the Jordan River is not very wide. I want to go into Israel. And God says, Moshe, it's been decreed. It's not meant to be. So the Talmud discusses, why was Moshe obsessed with going into Israel? Was it for some egotistical drive to say that I took the Jews all the way from Egypt into Israel, and if I don't take them in Israel, it's like I did nothing? No, that wasn't Moshe Rabeinu. He was a great man, and whatever God had planned for him was sufficient. If he's able to, he prayed for more, but if this is what God's decree was, he accepted. So what was Moshe's drive to go into Israel? What did he want in Israel? To taste the good fruits? So the Talmud tells us that Moshe's drive to go into Israel was for one reason. Most of the commandments that God had given to the Jewish people at Mount Sinai and over the 40 years were connected to Israel. Many of the commandments are connected to Israel. My dear friends, connected to what about Israel? The land, working the land, the trees, when you can, how you can, what you can do. What happens when you produce things in Israel? It's all actionable mitzvahs connected to the physical land of Israel, the time and the space. And today, those of us who don't live in Israel, and even those who do live in Israel, biblically, most of those commandments do not apply. And that is what Moshe's desire was. I want to have the opportunity to be able to do more mitzvahs for you, Hashem. This was what was driving Moshe and made him beseech and turn to God and plead. So what does this mean for us? For many who think that the mitzvahs that consist of just plain simple actions, that they're not really important, or they're of yesteryear. The most important thing is how you feel, to feel Jewish in your heart, in your mind, pride, to have a connection that is spiritual. The Torah is telling us something very clear. The most precious of the mitzvahs, the large majority and the purpose of God's creation of the world and the Jewish people and the mitzvahs is the actionable items that are done physically with our hands, with our feet, with our mouth, with our body, with external things, whether it's a pair of tefillin, piece of leather we put on our hand, whether it's lighting a candle, Shabbat candle Friday night for the women, whether it's eating a Shabbat meal or a holiday meal, making a blessing on a piece of food. This is what Judaism is all about. Moshe in the desert had all the spirituality, he had all the closeness to God, he had everything you can imagine, but one thing he was missing, the actionable mitzvahs, and this was he desired so much. He needed it, he wanted it, because he knew that this was the fulfillment of God's purpose of creation of the world. and transformative of himself in the world, and bringing Mashiach as well. So it's time for us to double down and get more actionable mitzvahs in our day. If you do one a day, do two. If you do one a week, do one a day. Add more and more actual mitzvahs. Every one connects you to God like nothing else can. Every one brings something powerful into your life that nothing else can. Every one is a capital gain for your spiritual and your complete self. Actionable mitzvahs. Let's make it happen. You know, the 10 Commandments, all very down-to-earth actionable, because that's the bottom line of Judaism, what you do, and with what you do it, and when you do it. So God bless you all. We love you all. Shabbat Shalom. Candlelight Time, Montreal, 8:14 p.m.